What's up? Greetings and welcome back to Black Mirror News, where everything is connected and featuring the Death Star mic. Something like that. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. All right. We're live on YouTube, X, and you can watch on Telegram if you want to watch on Telegram. That's totally acceptable too. All right. Sorry for the long intro. Let's get into some news as best we can cover it. There's a million stories to cover every day, and I try to cover the ones I think are relevant. There's a million channels to watch out there, and you could be watching all kinds of stuff, and you're here, so thank you for being here. Hold on one second. I feel a tickle coming on. So after all the talk about, and people were saying that Trump's ending the war in Ukraine, and he, on top of that, there's Democrats or people on, partisan folks who are like, he's just doing whatever Putin wants to do. He's standing off to the side and letting Putin bomb Ukraine. No, he's not. Just it's exhausting. The partisan politic thing is exhausting because it's just people like to mix in a bunch of misinformation and disinformation into, generally solid ideas about what's going on. Basically because they believe one side of the partisan aisle, and it's really exhausting. And there's people out there saying like, oh, we gotta support the Democrats now because look how bad Trump is. Will you ever get over yourselves with that? And certainly don't go running after a billionaire who's trying to create a third party in order to make America first again or whatever. Politics is exhausting. Yeah. So there's, some people out there are saying, the MAGA people are like, yeah, Trump is going to get in office and end the Ukraine war. And the Democrat people, liberal people are like, no, he's totally Putin's buddy and he's letting Putin bomb Ukraine and just do whatever they want. Didn't the Ukraine just do a huge raid on Russia like a month ago? Surely with our knowledge, with our blessing, and with our help. Does that look like standing aside? Now, Trump said he's going to send more weapons to Ukraine. They want this to go on. They want this limited skirmish thing to go on as long as possible because it's good for business. Do you understand that yet? Are you getting it yet? The reason why we were in Vietnam for so many years, supposedly fighting the Reds, was because it was good for business at the end of the day. You might have thought it was ideological, and maybe it was, but it was mostly just good for business. The reason why we were in Iraq for so many years, why we're still in Iraq, the reason why we were in Afghanistan for 20 years was because it was good for business. Ideology had very little to do with it. Global dominance had, I'm sure there's, some regional kind of flexing going on, but at the end of the day, it's just good for business. That's right. Kamashwari Kate, fight communism over there, so we don't have to fight communism here. Yes, Michael Rupert said it's all about the oil, and that's what it's about. It's about dollar bills, y'all. And business is good. That's right. Anyway, so let's look at this. Story here. Trump saying we have to send some more weapons to Ukraine, guys. U.S. will have to send weapons to Ukraine, Trump says days after Pentagon pause. all of the peace talks and the talks with Putin, and Putin's a weird guy, and we're gonna, we got a ceasefire on the table, and we're gonna talk to, and that Zelensky better do, get his stuff together. It's all about continuing this thing for whatever reason, and all the other stuff is theater. Trump continued continually expresses frustration with Putin while ordering defensive weapons shipments to war-torn countries. So yeah, that's it.
Are you planning to send more weapons to Ukraine?
We're going to send some more weapons. We have to. They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now. They're getting hit very hard. We're going to have to send more weapons. Your defensive weapons, primarily, but they're getting hit very, very hard. Very sad. So many people are dying in that mess.
And we got to get in there and stop it. Anyways, I don't really need to read much
have a lot of great
more about
results.
this.
It's great to have you. Thank you very much.
This particular story. What's up, Chris? How you doing? So whatever you think is going on, whether you think he's Putin's buddy and he's allowing I'm sure he is Putin's buddy. I'm sure their phone call is more like, so you guys are going to attack Kiev, and then we're going to have to send you more, have to send them more missiles, and then you guys are going to keep, and then we're going to, play this thing out for a while, right? More likely also, there's, so much going on around the Epstein files. Trump said this in response to a reporter. Oh, wait, no, this isn't it. I can't play this. Darn it. YouTube will demonetize me if I play that clip from Jon Stewart, though I really want to play it. It's a good one. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, where is it? Now I got to play it because. Okay, here we go. Trump recently said, "Why are you asking about the Epstein files? This is an old story. Why are you bringing it up? Why are you bringing up old shit? What, dude? Everybody wants to know where the files are that you promised, and now you're saying, "Oh, that's stop. It's over already." Oh, really?
Sure.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Kosticki, allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape?
Yeah, sure. If I
Did I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I wonder why he doesn't want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein. Elon, I mean, to Elon's credit, he said Trump's in the Epstein files, and Trump seemed to backpedal after that. I think it's pretty obvious, if anybody is paying attention, it's pretty obvious that Epstein, it was an Israeli agent who blackmailed everybody, and he has dirt on everyone. And if he personally doesn't have dirt, then Israel has dirt. And they control both sides of the aisle, by the way. So there's no, there's no voting in better people unless we care to do something about this. I mean, really, this isn't going to stop. Things are going to get worse because everything that's being done right now is at the behest of, I mean, you could say it's Israel, but it's, whatever Israel is a front for, which is, you can call it anything you want. The Illuminati, global capital, the people that really run the show, right? The dark lords of, I don't know, and all of these people are just puppets on a string. And so it's not going to stop until we stop it. I've said this in regards to other things, global issues, whatever it might be. The class, why is my brain freaking out right now? Financial inequity, right? The split between rich and poor. Suddenly just can't talk anymore. Climate change, other issues, right? None of these things are going to get better until we, force them to get better. Until a group of people goes out and takes a stand. Like, it's just not, you're not gonna kick back and chill out this thing to be better. I know that maybe escaping the system and doing it, doing things on your own as much as possible is a good way to just not be trapped in the system. There are no Epstein files, period. End of story. Are you okay? Are you just repeating the FBI's new line on that? Yeah, there's just not, you're not going to even like lazy yourself out of this. Yeah, you can try and get out of the system, you can try and get off grid, but as much as you get off grid or try to get out of the system, they're going to keep on coming. They're going to keep on coming until you stand up and stop them from coming, right? And there's a lot of things to take down right now. It's not just even about the two-party system or the Trump administration, or, I mean, we've got a lot to unravel. And I think, one of the things we should probably stop immediately, if possible, is AI and robotics, runaway AI and robotics. I don't know how like in the new bill, there was a moratorium on legislating AI for 10 years. I think, we need to kick the bums out, and whoever we can get in there, or whoever takes control, Citizens Assembly or whatever, like, we need to have a 10-year moratorium on any new advancements and any any use of AI in whatever, law enforcement, taxes, finance. Like, we need to take it all out and have a moratorium on its development until we, can regulate how it's used, regulate what's going on with it, regulate its expansion into everything. We need to go in the opposite direction. And I'm sorry for the people that believe that AI is the future. You gotta seriously like snap out of it, man. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. Unless AI is going to be your buddy that like frees humanity, maybe. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see how, the talking AI voice is going to free you from the bondage, the chains that are coming slowly wrapping around you as you sit there going, wow, this is great. AI is telling me about how it's all working, as if I didn't know before, as if I didn't have a brain I could use myself. We need a 10-year moratorium on lobbying. Yeah. We need a 10-year moratorium on, almost everything. we need to halt like so many things. We need just a pause. Just a pause on the planet. But mostly a pause on the people that run the planet. Anyways, I went off on a tangent there. More ridiculousness. This is a clown show, and Trump is the head clown. He just referred to Netanyahu as the greatest man in the world. Okay, you're talking about somebody who's currently a war criminal. Oh, before I get there, I wanted to actually talk about this.
Sure.
Max Blumenthal's comments on Trump and Epstein before we get to this other one. Had the Democrats done Trump Epstein instead of Trump Russia, the Trump Russia hoax, they might be in power right now. Trump Epstein was the gut shot the Dems never took, and they couldn't because Epstein had them on the books as well. Bing, ding, 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 ding. It's not going to come out because they have everybody, basically. They've got Elon too, by the way. If you think Elon's going to start a third party and set you free, they've got Elon too. And one word about the Trump Russia thing, like they're all in bed with each other. China, Russia, the US, they're all working in coordination with each other. There's no, China, US, looming tensions and blah, blah, blah. There's no Russia, American, like they're all in league. They're all in coordination. The Clintons did sell Russia uranium. So like they're all in league. They're all in bed with each other. They're all about business. The Ukraine war is all about dropping bombs on each other because it's good for business. Having a reason, a pretext, if you will, to drop bombs on each other because it's good for business. So yeah, let's go on to this. Hold on. Income inequality. My brain was trying to look for something a long time ago in this video. What I meant to say was income inequality. Trump just referred to Netanyahu as the greatest man in the world. My God.
Do you think that there can be a two-state solution that creates an independent?
I don't know. I'd ask Bibi that question. You have the greatest man in the world to
Ask
answer that
Bibi the
age-old
question.
question. Two-state. Go ahead. You give him your honest
Just
answer.
give him, just tell him, Bibi. Just tell him.
Can I push in your stool?
Palestinians should have all the powers to govern themselves, but none of the powers should threaten us. And that means that certain powers, like overall security, will always remain in our hands. Now, that is a fact. And no one in Israel will agree to anything else because we don't commit suicide. We want life, we cherish life.
Life for us, maybe death for everybody else. And to get even further on the scale of stupid, Netanyahu nominated Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. What?
We're going to have a lot of great results, so it's great to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I want to express the appreciation and admiration, not only of all Israelis, but of the Jewish people and many, many admirers around the world for your leadership of the free world, your leadership of a just cause, and the pursuit of peace and security, which you are leading in many lands. But now,
oh my God, where's my bucket? I need to vomit. Do we get to the part where he nominates him for?
Especially in the Middle East, we have great opportunities. The president has an extraordinary team, and I think our teams together make an extraordinary combination to meet challenges and seize opportunities. But the president has already realized great opportunities. He forged the Abraham Accords. He's forging peace as we speak in one country, in one region after the other. So I want to present to you, Mr. President, the letter I sent to the Nobel Prize Committee. It's nominating you for the Peace Prize, which is well-deserved, and you should get it.
Thank you very much. This I didn't know. Wow.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coming from you in particular, this is very meaningful. Thank you very much, Bibi.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
What's the phrase? Peso pluma, money or the gun. What's the phrase about money or the steel or the bullet? That's basically where Trump's at. You guys know what I'm talking about? Peso pluma. Oh, plata. Is it plata o pluma? O plumbo? Plumbo? I don't know. I've heard it so many different ways. Anyways, that's where he's at. That's where Trump's at. You're the greatest. You're going to get a Nobel Peace Prize. Or we could do something. Might take you off the stage. I don't know. Who knows? Better keep doing what we want. Better keep doing it like we tell you to. Some crazy stuff happened there is some weather stuff happening, guys. I'm going to talk about it eventually. Just trying to get through a couple of things. As I said, there are so many things. This is wild. Like, I guess this is Border Patrol / ICE at MacArthur Park in LA, doing like sweeping through the park. And people were like, what the hell? Nothing happened. They didn't arrest anybody. They just basically cleared out the park. And a lot of you people were like, what the hell is going on here? And LA definitely seems to be because I don't really see this going on in other cities so much. There in some cities, some things are happening for sure, but LA seems to be the focal point. ICE is just going nuts. Wu-Tang is for the children says this is crazy to see on the streets of an American city. They're clearly gearing up for martial law at some point.
Guys, I'm on the ground right now by
They didn't even
MacArthur
detain
Park,
anyone at MacArthur
where
Park.
you can see law enforcement and troops, airborne police right now. I mean, they are here.
Yeah,
They
practice
are
drill.
moving, and this is happening right now. Here are the troops.
And
Guys, I'm on the ground right now by MacArthur Park, where you can see law enforcement and troops, airborne police right now. I mean, they are here.
here's a border patrol talking about what their presence is. Again, this is from Wu-Tang. Oh no.
And troops, airborne police right.
Where is it? Is this the right one? Hopefully this is the right one. I think so. Border Patrol chief on what's happening with their presence in LA. This is going to be normal very soon. What does that mean? Border official rebukes Karen Bass.
The federal government is not leaving LA. I don't work for Karen Bass. The federal government doesn't work for Karen Bass. We're going to be here till that mission's accomplished, as I said, and better get used to us now, because this is going to be normal very soon. The federal government.
That's frightening. As a lot of people have been saying, this isn't even about immigration or illegal immigration, because they're not really going after, they're going after people that have been here for years. They're going after, right, people who are already citizens, workers. They're not going after criminals. They're not going after the people that they say that they're trying to go after. These are just fear tactics. They're just sweeping people, just willy-nilly, if I may use the term. Extra Bullet says immigration is the cover for real martial law. Yep. Oh, I keep forgetting to put them on the screen. Put them on the screen. Yep. That's what it is. Deline says I should move 4 states away. Maybe I should. I have been thinking about that. My God. If you don't think I've been thinking about that, I have been thinking about that. My brain does work sometimes. And if you are witnessing what is going on, I don't know about 4 states. I'm talking about 4 countries. I don't know about going to Mexico, because they're pissed at Americans right now. There are the Mexican citizens are starting to revolt against American companies and people that are there. So I don't know if Mexico is a good bet. 4 planets. Yeah, I don't know about anywhere in the US that might be yeah. Chris says I'm a naturalized citizen from Brazil, and I'm kind of worried. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't you be? I mean, they're just going after all kinds of people. That aren't necessarily aren't necessarily criminals or here illegally, right? They're going after people that are showing up for their immigration hearings. That's not illegal. That's what you're supposed to do. You're following the process of being naturalized or being a citizen, and they're going after those. And it seems like people pushing back are getting some traction, because I'm sure it's scary. I'm sure it's not easy to push back, but it seems like there's plenty of evidence out there that people that are willing or able to push back or be loud about it and have people around them be loud about it can get some traction. But again, this isn't about immigration. This is about something else. I feel like, and I don't think this is a stretch in any way, shape, or form, they're just putting the presence out there in order to, once they have, people, I've been saying for the last few years that we should watch out for the day when we wake up and there's robots on every corner. Well, I guess it's not going to be robots. I guess it's just going to be ICE agents. I thought there was going to be a day when they're just going to flip a switch. You're going to wake up and there's going to be a robot dog at the end of your street saying don't go past this perimeter. This is where you're staying unless, we let you through, and you're going to have a reason to be let through. Well, I guess they're just deciding to do that with ICE agents, right? They're going to cause some pretext, some kind of calamity, whatever it might be, some new state of emergency, whatever it might be. Although there already is a state of emergency, in perpetuity, in effect, right, for Trump or whoever to just do whatever they want. But there'll be some catalyst for them to just be like, well, now we've shifted our focus to something else. Extra Bullet says, I'm tempted to go live with the Bigfoots up in the woods. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you can get a shack out in the forest, you might be okay for a little while. Maybe not a shack. Maybe you just got to keep it moving. All right. More on ICE. Shenanigans. Leaked emails indicate that ICE is now using Mobile Fortify, a facial recognition tool that lets agents ID anyone just by pointing a smartphone camera at them. It may start with illegal immigrants, but make no mistake, this technology will be used against you next. Reddit users explode over reports of ICE's new face and fingerprint scanning app. What? Of course. Or just, do the Face ID on your phone and everything else, guys. And all the apps that they want all your biometrics for, just go ahead and give it all to them so they have it all, okay, already, right? Just skip the line. Fred says, I hear you. My wife of 20 years has a green card from Brazil. Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. What they're doing doesn't really make a lot of sense, other than creating a pretext for something much worse. Yeah. By all means, like up the video, guys. There's more than 17 watching for sure, Poppy. If you're watching on YouTube, there's way more than that. Just so you know. They have long been trying to make it seem like nobody's watching my show. Excuse me. And mostly it's effective. Because if people feel like nobody's watching, then everybody's like, where's everybody at? No, there's way more watching. Hold on one second. Okay. That's weird. I turned off my microphone, but somehow my picture went. Go away just because my mic went off. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I don't know why. My picture went away. Oh, I see. They were trying to get. I see. That's weird. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Okay. All right, here we go. And where is
So I'm here with my nephew, Adriel Lorenzo, who was born here, U.S. citizen, born in the United States, in Brooklyn, New York. In fact, I was behind the ambulance when my sister was going to give birth with him at Long Island College Hospital in downtown Brooklyn. Today, this morning, on his way from work, a U.S. citizen, and this is happening, people, pay attention, a U.S. citizen was stopped on his way from work, a U.S. citizen, and this is happening, people, pay attention, a U.S. citizen was stopped by ICE and harassed. 8 officers surrounded him, asked him if he had a fake ID when he presented his state ID, and
I see. Somehow I was. Here we go. I got it. Man, that's annoying. Am I here? Can you guys hear me and see me? Please let me know. Sorry for the issues. Is the whole thing frozen? You can, okay, Denver, is that yes? You can see me and hear me? Okay. Can you guys hear the sound from the video that I'm playing? I'm just trying to clarify what's going on. Okay. Is that yes? You can see and hear the video? Tell me if you can hear the video. Okay. Oh, I froze the video.
His driver's license. They cut up illegally his legal state ID and asked him if it was a fake driver's license.
Can you hear the
They
video now?
detained him unlawfully
If
without
not, I
probable
can start it
cause,
over.
just getting out of his car, coming off from work, working with children that he works with, going into 7-Eleven. I'll let him tell you how he feels. Adriel, how did you feel at that time? What power did you think you have?
Well, you don't have no power. You can't defend yourself. Everything going around with them talking about you're powerless when there's people surrounding you and they're saying that they can shoot you down and all they will give you is your remains to your family. It makes you scared. You can't say nothing. If you curse the cops out, they can take you down. They said that my documents were fake. They asked for a green card. They asked me many times where I was from, what's my ethnicity. It was like it was racial profiling. I got stopped for absolutely no reason. I did nothing. When I was there, you feel scared. You feel hopeless. You don't have your phone. You can't call nobody. You don't have your wallet. They took both of my identifications, cut it up. They cut my ID up. They told me my driver's license was fake. And my driver's license was just renewed and issued about a month ago. So I have no idea. Inside of Florida, the back of Florida's IDs have a little picture to determine that your ID is real or if it's fake. For them to, what happened was it's a lot. So
How long did they hold?
About 35 to 40 minutes.
What happened when they released you?
They basically said that you need to carry all your documents to have your social security card, and I need to be more careful going forward and not to be carrying two identifications.
What is it illegal to carry two identifications?
Yes, two identification cards. That's what they said.
Did they told you it was illegal? It is not. It is not. I have my passport card and I have my driver's license. There's no statute. That's okay. There's no statute that says that it's illegal in the state of Florida or any place that I know in the U.S. to carry multiple IDs.
That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. That's totally not like if a cop said that to you, I'd just be like, shut up, man. That's just not true. You can't carry two. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. Anyways, that's a scary story. But you hear that. That's not the only time I've heard that about. And I was going there, Denver. Above the film The Pianist, which recreates the segregation of Jews in the Nazi ghetto of Warsaw, where they were forbidden to pass through the streets, 1943. Below the Zionist ghetto in the West Bank, where Palestinians are segregated and forbidden to pass through the streets, 2025.
מה האזרחות שלך? את פלסטינאי? Yes. אז אתה רואה שם, אתה לא רואה את ה... That one? כן, אתה מתרחש שם. But I know that I'm allowed to be here until here. Say, you are not allowed. Why can't he be with us? Because we are limit for Palestine. מה האזרחות שלך? את פלסטינאי? Yes.
You can't walk here because you're Palestinian. I don't know. Shoot, man, having issues. Sorry. All the problems started when I muted my mic so I could clear my throat. And I muted my mic and everything went haywire. Is a rabid Zionist the star of The Pianist? Yeah. Is Adrian Brody a rabid Zionist? That sucks because kind of liked him as an actor. Now, not so much, I guess. Is it Bondi took off her necklace to lie to people? She knew she had to deceive the public, so she took off the cross she was so proud of. Where'd it go? Yeah, we're going a little bit longer today, not too much longer. Do you see what's happening? Epstein's calendar. This is from Rolling Stone, by the way. Epstein's calendar contained multiple meetings with Peter Thiel. Oh. And now Peter Thiel has injected his AI into every facet of the government and the military. Oh. And he also runs Rumble. Oh. PayPal. Oh. Et cetera, et cetera. And Elon runs all the other things. They used to work together. Oh. I wonder what's happening. Can I speak about the weather instead? I'll get there. I'm going to get there. I am going to get there. One more thing before I get there. And, you know, the weather isn't such a great subject either. More from Max Blumenthal. Israel officially announces plans to construct a concentration camp in the ruins of Gaza. Palestinians will not be allowed to leave the zone, which will be marketed as a humanitarian city. Of course. Just like when they gave people food, it was given to them through a humanitarian foundation. And that sounded really nice until they were herded into cages to get the food and then shot at and bombed and whatnot. Israel officially announces plans to construct a concentration camp in the ruins of Gaza. Okay, so anyways, bear witness to how the logic of Zionism endlessly perpetuates the Holocaust. Defense Minister Israel Katz tells reporters in a briefing today that he instructed the IDF and the ministry to bring forward a plan to establish a new humanitarian city in the southern Gaza Strip on the ruins of Rafah. The idea of the humanitarian area, according to Katz, is to accommodate initially some 600,000 Palestinians from the Mawasi area on the coast. After screening them to ensure Hamas operatives are not entering, Palestinians will not be allowed to leave the zone, he says. Eventually, the idea is to bring the entire Palestinian civilian population to the zone. What? While the IDF secures it from a distance as international bodies work to manage the area. An additional 4 aid distribution sites would be established in the area, according to Katz. Katz also emphasizes his ambition to encourage Palestinians to voluntarily emigrate from the Gaza Strip to other countries, saying this plan should be fulfilled. Whoa. You could just leave is what they're suggesting. By the way, our government is suggesting that people, illegal immigrants, or people who we might deem illegal immigrants, even, whoever, that's a very broad umbrella because obviously it seems to encompass a whole lot of other people as well, but they're encouraging people to go ahead and self-deport. China has been hit with Oh, by the way, guys, if you like the show, if you want to support the show, if you want the show to continue coming to you for free Monday through Friday, there's lots of ways to support the show. There's links in the description box on YouTube or Linktree on X or Telegram. All the usual suspects are there. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee, Ko-Fi, Patreon, Substack. A lot of y'all support the show on the regular. You know who you are. I appreciate you. More than 24 people are missing after heavy rainfall in China's Tibet region triggered a surge in the Bote-Koshe River, which flows through both China and Nepal. The floodwaters washed away the friendship bridge linking the two countries. So it's not just Texas, and you probably won't hear any of the weather conspiracists talk about this one. They probably won't. There probably won't be videos of NextRad or HARP, engaging in China, Tibet region, causing. No, there'll be none of those. Why? Because they're selective and they don't really care. Again, I'm not saying that the government isn't up to things. I'm not saying that they don't have technology to influence things. I totally believe that they do. But when you understand that the, humanity and our use of fossil fuels and or other poisonous things and our just general disregard for the environment over a century, more than a century, maybe a couple centuries, is causing a lot of damage, and it's starting to catch up with us. And that's one of the reasons why countries around the world are they want to tighten up their control over the population, because they're going to lose control of normality when the environment goes completely haywire and things get really scarce and things begin to break down. The people in power want to remain in power as much as possible. They want to manage the collapse of the environment. They don't want it to just happen naturally. That's one of the reasons. There's several reasons. Earlier this morning, Nepal-China border flood disaster, 120 kilometers north of Kathmandu. 18 people missing, 12 Nepali, 6 Chinese nationals. Here's more of the damage. It's pretty extensive. In Serbia, they got slammed as well. Just, try to keep an open mind and try to understand that there could be several things happening at once. I found it very interesting yesterday, if anybody was listening to Ryan Christian's show, and I'm a fan of Ryan, but he was talking about sustainability. He was talking about AI water consumption or just data center water consumption. And he was remarking on the unsustainability of and I was like, oh, I see. I mean, when people are concerned about how much humanity is sucking up the resources of the planet, and want to remark on unsustainability, I mean, it's just an interesting it's just an interesting juxtaposition. I don't know. Yeah, some things are unsustainable. Some things that we are doing on the planet are definitely unsustainable. And some people might say everything we're doing on the planet is unsustainable, right? Like overuse of soils and, mining and strip mining and fossil fuel exploration and, on and on and on, right? Dumping chemicals into rivers and, it never ends. Yeah. Also, interestingly enough, kind of in the same area as the huge flooding that's going on, in the Himalayas, 40C at 2,300 meters, 49C at 1,200 meters. That is hot. At that height, incredible heat in Karakoram. This is K2 camp 2. No snow on K2 at 6,200 meters. All-time temp record broken in the Gilgit Baltistan area with 40C at 2,300 meters. And very barren slopes. It looks like there's some slush there, but this is what a lot of the Swiss Alps are starting to look like too. Guys, they're heating up the planet in order to make the global warming happen. In order to convince us that global warming's happening. Guys, they're heating up the planet. I mean, at what point does it become just a little bit ridiculous? I don't know. Again, I'm not saying that they don't have like lots of ways to manipulate things, but like it's who knows? I mean, it's just kind of a foolish endeavor, right? If you cause the kind of climate chaos that supposedly they're causing all over the planet, eventually things they stop working, right? It's just a stuck on stupid idea. It's just a dumb thing to do, right? Everything stops working. You destroy everything. You destroy your ability to, continue to engage in limited wars and make all the money off the missiles and the bomb, right? Like it destroys your business model. Do you understand what I'm saying? It destroys your business model. It destroys the model that you rely on to continue to rule over everything. So why would you do that? I don't know. I'm not in denial, Delene. I'm not in denial of anything. I just don't think this is all caused by HAARP. I'm sorry. I'm not convinced that everything is manipulated, that it's all like, is that what you're trying to tell me, Delene? I mean, if that, lots of people believe that. I know there are lots of people that believe that. I just don't think that that's what's happening. For one thing, it's a heck of a lot of energy. It would take a heck of a lot of energy to do that level of manipulation everywhere. And again, like I just said, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I'm certain that contrails are created in order to help cool the planet, right? They have been doing this for a long time, and I'm sure they're involved in other things as well, right? Like, sure. You don't think all weather is I don't think all of it is manipulated. I just, I think that they have destroyed the planet to a level that they are trying to control it on the way down. And that's partly what the contrails are for. But again, not one contrail in the sky today. And that it's been weeks going on, like 2, maybe 3 weeks now. I have not seen one contrail. What is going on? The lack of contrails is more evidence that they're created than the presence of them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because people try to argue that they're naturally occurring. Right? If you try to argue that something is naturally occurring and this is just happens because of air traffic, and then it doesn't happen for weeks on end, I'm sorry. you're really trying too hard when you're trying to like, well, but maybe that's just the weather changed. No, it didn't. Not to the degree that, anyways, whatever. Now I sound like a complete loony. But what I'm saying is, generally they put them up to create some cloud cover to help keep things cool and normal. Yeah, no, I saw Karen Bass's remarks, Poppy, about the MacArthur Park. Yeah. I don't trust Karen Bass on anything. She's as much of an actor on the stage as Gavin Newsom or anybody else. So, Karen Bass can go take a freaking leap for all I care about. She doesn't care about people. She's not concerned. She's not here to help anybody. Mini rant. But, what she's saying is true. It is true. But Karen Bass is a bought out politician like anyone else. Contrail funding got cut? Probably. Maybe. Do you think so? Do you think that's why? I don't know. No, well, Deline, I'm talking about contrails that are created, which people could call chemtrails, but I'm talking about intentional contrails. But if they're naturally occurring, there can't be no contrails for weeks. Sorry. Right. Like, think about it. Like, think that one through. It'd be like if someone said tides are caused by the moon, right? And then suddenly the tides stopped coming. Well, then you would probably go, well, maybe they're not caused by the moon. And if the moon is hollow, how does it cause tides? Maybe someone's creating the tides. I don't know. Dr. Evil's been creating tides for thousands of years. But do you know what I'm saying? It'd just be, if you thought forever and ever that tides were caused by the moon and then they just stopped happening, the absence of them would cause questions, wouldn't they? So that's all I'm saying about contrails. If they just happen because of air traffic, well, the air traffic didn't stop. So where are they coming from? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so after saying all of that, let's this is a whistleblower in Oklahoma talking about water. So I don't know, again, take this with a grain of salt because I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to. Okay, I'm going to skip this. Sorry. I'm going to skip it. Let's see. FBI field office in New York is cheering for James Dennehy, who was forced to resign after getting caught hiding the Epstein files. Well, hey, can you cut that out, y'all? Too much. Now, they added the part about the Epstein files things, but apparently they're saying this is about January 6th, an agents list, but he was forced out of the FBI. This post says because he was caught hiding the Epstein files, but I don't know.
An extraordinary scene outside of the New York FBI office in the last hour. Assistant Director in Charge, James Dennehy, who was forced to resign under pressure this week, left the building to cheers from hundreds of his colleagues and the sound of bagpipes. He was forced out after clashing with Donald Trump's Justice Department after the removal of senior FBI leaders and requests for the names of agents who worked on the January 6 cases. He told those gathered that he will be their, quote, best cheerleader on the outside. We'll be watching for that. Another break for us. We'll be right back.
Okay. Maybe. The Grok check says James Dennehy was forced to resign from the FBI's New York office on March 3rd after clashing with Trump DOJ over demands for January 6 agent lists and amid Bondi's unproven claims. So I guess this part is true, that his office withheld Epstein files, which of course don't exist. He stated no official reason was given. The cheering video is real, but unrelated to Epstein. Oh, okay. This is good though. Epstein's address book can be shown in court, judge rules. So there's no Epstein files, but his address book could be shown in court during Ghislaine Maxwell's trial. Haha. It don't make no sense, yo. It don't make no sense. And we'll end with this. Just a Thought says a major aspect of demoralization of the people is to purposely and continuously hold a carrot in front of them and then repeatedly take it away without acknowledging it was ever there in the first place. This causes people to feel hopeless, deceived, and confused. Somebody says maybe Elon's New America Party will be the solution. Indeed. Ooh, I hope he does it. I hope he does. Come on, Elon, save us. All right. That does it for me, guys. Today. I will be back tomorrow at the regular time. 12 p.m. Pacific. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for pulling up a chair and hanging out with me. And nobody to thank as of yet, but I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, peace.